It's a celebration, y'all. Hey y'all. I got my cocoa. Don't want to spill it. We're just gonna have a candid conversation about how my first semester went. What is this PhD life giving me? What is my experience thus far? And I've just got some things to say. And so, yeah, we're going to get into it. Yeah. Okay. One of the main things that my first year has given me is the challenge of being happy in grad school. And when I say being happy, I meant like with a nice school, professional, and social life balance, which also is a bit challenging now because of things that have to do with COVID-19 and the restrictions that are a part of that. Once I got into this program, I knew that it was my best fit. I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. I love it. And then I get here, and let me tell you all, the workload is a little bit extreme. And I don't really mean coursework because I already have my master's, so I know what graduate work, coursework, and all of that type of balance would be like. But I feel like my teacher's assistantship is a lot, and the lab that I work in is a lot. Like, it's a lot of work. So school community partnerships, when you're working with equity things or you're challenging the system and you are making a way for or you're advocating for voices that don't necessarily always have access to the table or having a seat at the table, and you are advocating for them to not only have a voice there, but also to have access to this table, to sit at this table, to make a choice to say, I don't want to sit at that table, I do want to sit at that table, all of those different type of things. So when you're doing community work, when you are very much invested into a community, when you are serving a high needs community, I feel like there's always work to be done. And because of my research interest, which is school community partnerships, because of my research interest in equity and social justice issues, there's always work to be done. My first semester definitely was a reflection of that, and just reminding me that, Erica, you kind of signed up for this, because it's not necessarily, the work in your lab is a lot. It's the community in which we serve always has had needs that need to be met. And when you work in communities like that, there's always going to be work. And so my lab is definitely a reflection of that. And in the middle of the semester, I really couldn't see through it. I just felt like I was doing so much work and I was very overwhelmed, and it impeded on my social life. I felt like I didn't want to do anything. I just felt like I was so stressed with making sure all of my coursework was up to par, and also fulfilling my duties in my lab, fulfilling my duties as a TA, that I was just so burnt out. I didn't want to do anything. That's what kind of impeded on my happiness in grad school. And I felt like I was just unhappy, and I couldn't figure out why am I so unhappy? I wanted this and all of those different things. I wanted to be here. I wanted to get my PhD. This is what I wanted so long for. And you mean to tell me I'm not happy? And it took a lot of reflection time to be quiet to myself, some prayer, and to really search and say, what is this message, or what is this trying to tell me? What do I need to change? And I just realized that, again, the work and the passions that's in my heart to give back to people and to be an advocate and in the communities in which I really want to work in, which are very high needs, there's always work to be done. And I think with knowing this, especially on the front end, now it's time for me to develop a routine and kind of some boundaries on how much to give, to not overextend myself, how much to say, yes, I'm working in a high needs community. Yes, there's always work to be done, but not tonight, or but not on Tuesday, or not on this day. And that's the part that I don't have down packed just yet, but I was definitely feeling like I was unhappy in graduate school my first semester, and I felt alone in feeling that way. And so this is going into my next point about academic Twitter. So academic Twitter is a world where graduate scholars and postdocs and professors, researchers, educators, everyone who is an educational stakeholder in any field that they're in, they're on Twitter, and they talk a lot about their accomplishments. They talk a lot about their experience in graduate school, and a lot of the different things that are shared on there are very positive, and that's great. But oftentimes, I feel like I'm behind. For instance, many people have been published in peer-reviewed journals in undergrad, easy. Like a lot of people who are in doctoral programs, a lot of people just in graduate school in general, they are already published going into graduate school. And in my journey, I said this in my very, very first video, I did not really even get into research until 2018, and I graduated from undergrad in 2016. So I really started my research, experience in my master's program. I feel like I'm behind because everybody else is published. Everybody else is doing something that's magnificent, and it's like, oh my gosh, yes, accolades to you. Yes, all of these different things. And meanwhile, I'm experiencing unhappiness in my graduate school program, and I haven't been published in a peer-reviewed journal. And I'm just like, is this what the academic world is like? And I feel like that also played a role into how happy I was in graduate school, because I felt like I was behind and I couldn't keep up, because I'm overextended with my research, I'm overextended with being a TA, I'm overextended with just my coursework, and now I also don't have this peer-reviewed journal experience. And here's my thing about why I'm not published. Because I was a teacher first, I understand what it's like for someone to come into your profession, come into your classroom and tell you, this is what the latest research says, do it. They publish this great work, this great piece, these great ways to critically think about how we serve students, but they don't see it all the way through. And when I say see it all the way through, I mean giving strategies on what it could look like in various settings. And I'm talking realistic settings. I'm talking about me 3 years ago teaching second grade in Richmond City Public Schools. I'm talking about seeing research all the way through. And that's why I'm not published, because I like to see things all the way through. And I'm not going to put my name on something just to say my name is on something. I'm going to actually have a stake in this research. I have seen it all the way through. I've thought this out meticulously, and I can see how this can look in this county. I can see how it can look in this classroom. I can see how it can look in this classroom. I can't see it over there, but I can see it there. And that's the kind of thing that I want to be a part of. And that's also the reason why I chose the lab that I'm in now, and why I chose this program, is because my advisor legit made a reading intervention that kind of started as research and saw it all the way through. I like both the clinical part of research, and I really do value the applied. And I feel like if I can't do that, then I really don't want to put my name on something. And I feel like maybe me having that thought is what's holding me back, or whatever, but I'm sticking to it. that's kind of why I decided to go to graduate school, is because I was just like, all these people are trying to tell me what I need to do in my class of 25 kids with minimal funding, with minimal support, and all these things are supposed to work. Meanwhile, this person published this and it's great. I love it. But how is this supposed to work here? And so that is something that, has I guess not hindered me, but is the reason why I'm not really published right now. That does not mean that I'm not working on something, which I am, but it just takes time. My doctoral experience so far has provided me with the opportunity to join more leadership roles and spread my wings a little bit more beyond NASP. I felt like I was very much involved with NASP. I know a lot of people in NASP and I will never leave it, but I felt like there were other communities in which I could serve, in which I can learn in, who also might need my lens too. And so I definitely started to get involved with APA, and I became one of the committee members for the science committee, and I'm really excited about it. I love reviewing grants, and I love reviewing, just abstracts and research and seeing what's being done out there. How can I serve or help in any type of way within the psychology field? Also, I'm still serving on the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee for NASP, but also there is a Equity, Social Justice Committee for my psychology department at NC State, and I am a part of that too. And it's a really great committee. I love the work that's been I guess proposed there, and seeing, how are we going to make this work. I like to be as transparent as possible on my channel, because I find that a lot of people reach out to me and they really want to know what is it like, and I do not want to lie to anybody. I want people to, and my experience is not what everyone else experiences, but this is just my truth, my story, and my experience, and I'm always happy to share it. I feel like right now, if I were to gauge my happiness in as being a doctoral student, how many stars am I giving it right now? I would give it about a 3.8, almost a 4, just because after some reflection on what this experience is really about for me, I feel like I really need this. I needed this experience. I needed this. So it's definitely like a 3.8. I'm very hopeful for next semester. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this candid conversation with me about my first semester as a doctoral student. But I will see you all in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Bye.